I feel like I say this every single time, but today is going to be a different video. It's quite similar to the one I did at the beginning of the year, and it was called 5 Things. I don't recall what it's called. This time I'm going to be talking about school. School is something that generally most of you watching will experience at some point in your life. Although the situation is different for everyone, there are times where it's going to be great and there are times where it's going to be absolute crap. You know, I can't fix all your problems obviously, but I just wanted to provide a little bit of advice or stuff that I've kind of learnt throughout my time at high school, considering I'm on my second last year, so I have a little bit of experience. Everyone is kind of shoved in this like room with everyone the same age as them, going through different hormonal changes at different times and at different rates, and everyone's at different stages of their life because adolescence is so complicated. So I just thought I would mention and explain 4 things that I think have really helped me throughout the years that I've had so far. The first thing I want to talk about is maturity and friendships, and this is a massive one at high school because high school is for most people the point of where all your friends are. It's your hub for your friendships. Most people, unless you have extracurricular activities, only have school. The main thing I wanted to say is that people mature, people change, and people do have the ability to change, generally not on someone else's accord though. And although you can't change everyone, you see people go from a child to an adult in the space of 3 or 4 years. It means that people's opinions change and people's personalities change. This means that people that were really close originally can end up clashing and not being friends anymore and not being as close as they used to, and that is perfectly okay. You're allowed to make new friends, you're allowed to be closer with different people, you're allowed to, you know, do whatever you want, do what makes you happy. Don't let this kind of stigma of you trying to maintain a friendship that you've had for so long just because it's such an old friendship. Surround yourself with the people that do make you happy and make you want to be like them rather than them pushing you down. I definitely explained that in much greater detail in the video at the beginning of the year that I did, which got a lot of views, and I was really happy with that because I thought it was something that really needed to be said. The next thing, which kind of leads quite well onto that, is perspective. And I literally just said in my points here, maintain perspective. This is one point in your life that everyone has a different experience of the world. Everyone is different and everyone's grown up in different ways. To a degree, listen to other people's opinions. However, don't let go of what you think is right and you hold in your core. People will have different opinions, and what's right and wrong is different for everyone, and the different opinions are what makes the world so intricate and complicated and amazing. Make sure you feel comfortable to speak up because your opinions matter just as much as theirs do. Along with accepting opinions, you've also got to accept people for who they are and understand that where you come from is just one perspective. And generally when people have a great issue with something, it's not personal to you. One major one is don't rely on your own judgment of character only, because there is a chance that you are wrong. Judging character is very difficult, and it's just really important not to jump to any conclusions really quickly, and you may jump to these conclusions without even realizing it. I do it all the time, obviously. Everyone does it, where they see a person doing something, they conclude that this person is this kind of person, and they put them in a category due to this action that they've done. My friend had a really good analogy the other day, and she like drew it up for me. I was like, this is really interesting and I really like this, so I'm gonna put this in a video. And she basically said there was like this person and she hit her dog, and everyone was like, oh, she's a terrible person. But then you realize that she hit her dog because the dog bit a child. Like, oh, the dog's a terrible dog. And then you're like, no, the dog bit a child because the child is strangling another dog. Don't jump to conclusions. That's what I want to say. Also, in terms of perspective, grades are a really interesting thing to talk about because people tend to put a lot of pressure on themselves, and like me included, getting like a particular grade on a particular level. My lit teacher was talking about it, and she said, you know, she studied really hard, like it's all she did. She worked really hard. She did 6 hours a night, like it was insane. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but she was super chill about it. Not one point in her last year of school did she stress about exams because she did the work, she did her best, and she can't do any more than that. So what's the point in stressing about it? What's the point in worrying about it? So many ways to get where you want to go without getting a certain grade in a certain exam. I cannot stress that enough. I have one kind of smaller point here. I just wanted to talk about internal versus external pressures, and this kind of comes under stress a little bit. I am a very stressed out person, and I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I seem pretty calm on the outside. Like, I am the exact opposite. I am always stressed, always, 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 and it's really, really bad for my health, and I'm really, really working hard on kind of minimizing that as much as possible. I think a major thing that has helped me is the identification of internal versus external pressures. And external pressures is pressures from the outside world putting it on you to do a certain thing. Internal pressures is often based off an external pressure, however it doesn't apply directly to you, and you are creating the pressure on yourself. Like, comparing yourself to others is a major one. Like, I constantly used to do this thing where I was thinking about, like, I would sit at the back of the classroom and I would look around and everyone's studying and I'm like, he's doing this, he's doing that, I should be doing this because this is probably what's going to get me a good grade. If this person got a higher grade than me, then I should be doing that too. But everyone studies differently. Everyone is different. And I know everyone says everyone's different, but like, I really mean it when I say everyone is different. That's okay. You don't have to conform to all these people that you think that you should be. They might not even be happy with their lives. You know, that girl that is the smartest girl in the class, head cheerleaders or whatever, might have serious mental health issues, so don't assume that their lives are perfect simply because that they're doing well in something that you aren't doing as well in. I just wanted to say that everyone does things in a different way and everyone has had a different experience in life. I'm going to state this point. This is the biggest point. Balance. Balance is so, so, so important. I hate to say it, but grades are only good when you're happy and when you're in a state where you can appreciate them. Different influences in your life will have different priorities too. For example, teachers will prioritize schoolwork, coaches will prioritize your sport training. No one really prioritizes mental health, so it's up to you to make sure that your mental health is intact. Your priorities also might be different to other people's, which is perfectly okay. Do things with the way that it works for you, and obviously that doesn't. Hank Green said a really good quote in one of his older videos. He was talking about getting up in the morning and how he struggles to get up in the morning, but when he sees the sunrise it just makes him really happy, and sometimes he wakes up in the morning and he just can't get out of bed at 5 in the morning, and that's okay. And basically what he wanted to say was, jump into that cold pool of that thing that you don't want to do, but if you can't do it, don't be too hard on yourself. Kind of what I wanted to say. There's not that much. I feel like I've sort of covered everything. If you have any questions or anything that I want to clarify, anything, just don't hesitate to ask me in the comments or message me, DM me on Instagram. I always have those open. I always have, tweet me, do whatever. Everything's in the description. Everything will be in the end screen as well. I hope that this helped in some way. I hope that it was useful. I really, really enjoy making these sorts of videos, and I hope that I can create more of these in the future because they not only make me happy feeling like I've helped someone, but when I upload them and I see everyone saying, oh, you've helped me so much, I'm like, you know what? I feel like that's when I kind of think that what I'm doing is a good thing. Those are the times where I'm like, I know why I'm doing YouTube, and I know that even if, you know, 2 people see this, it's a job well done for me because I've helped 2 people. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a huge thumbs up. That's everything. Bye. Thank you. Love you all so much. You are my rock and my savior. Goodbye.